Cool. So, hey, Cherokee and Kelsey, do y'all have any experience with Linux? Okay. Okay. No? Alright, cool. But you were using it the other day. You just thought it was Windows. No. Cool. So the first thing I was gonna do was just talk about VirtualBox. So you don't actually have to overwrite your operating system to try out Linux or any operating system for that matter. You can install a virtual machine. So VirtualBox is just one tool for doing that. It's really easy, straightforward. So yeah, you can download that, and this is what it looks like. Then, so these, I have two virtual machines over here set up, but once you download VirtualBox, you'll just need to download whatever Linux or operating system distribution that you want. So Linux Mint is one of my favorites. There's also Ubuntu, Kali Linux. There's a lot out there. So, but yeah, most Linux distros are free, unlike Windows and OS X. So you can just go on their website and download the disk image. And then you go into VirtualBox. You can pretty much follow all of the dialogue with no problems. But if you want to do a new virtual machine, you'll do new, then whatever name you want. So I might be doing Ubuntu, and it automatically says, oh, hey, it's Linux, it's Ubuntu, and you hit next. This is amount of RAM, so I have 16 gigs, so I would probably give like half of that. Then hit next, create virtual hard disk. Now you can do all that. Next, and then this is like your virtual hard drive space. It's like how much space just for storage you want to allocate. Here, give me a sec. I'm gonna turn push bullet off. Anyway, so yeah, you can give it however much of that you want. I would probably recommend like maybe 20 gigs or so if you're planning on actually using it a lot. So yeah, you can that'll create it, and then when you hit start to launch it, that's when it will ask you for the disk image that you downloaded for like for whatever Linux distro you're using. So see, it automatically found like some of the distros that I have, or the disk image files. So I would select whatever one it is and hit start, and that's all there is to it. So, but since I've already got one set up over here, I'm going to use it. And this is Linux Mint that I'm about to run. So I think it was Matt last year that recommended this distribution to me, but it's really good. But yeah, VirtualBox isn't like the focus of today, but it's probably the most beginner-friendly virtual machine thing to use. I haven't really used Vagrant, but that's another one that's pretty good too here. Wait. Okay, never mind. That's weird. It like automatically defaulted to Zach on mine and didn't. Okay, whatever. It's been a long time since I've logged into this. Yeah, there we go. Right, cool. I was like, maybe I am gonna have to make a new one. I use this like for a little while in the summer because I was like having to use a package that was only for Linux or something. I don't know. But I always get weird errors like that. But anyway, or weird messages, usually about like graphic GPU acceleration or something. No. For a while, I was just using this one with the user interface disabled. It was like just command line, but it was still a little buggy. Anyway, so yeah, once you have it started up, you can launch a terminal and boop. Well, that's actually pretty awful. Do you know a way of like zooming in on the terminal? I can probably do it from view, never mind. Yeah, there we go. I just like didn't expect that to work on a terminal for some reason. Well, it's not. Okay, but I can do this. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna like massively zoom in. I think it's good. Is that readable? No? Alright. It's like, it's even more zoomed in on my screen, but this is okay. Yeah, so like the basic commands starting out are just moving around your file system. I think probably the first one would be ls, so to list the files you have in the current directory. Forget what ls actually stands for, but most of them are pretty self-explanatory. So I've got like, desktop documents, downloads. Say I want to go to git and use cd. cd stands for change directory. So that's, you just type that and the name of the directory you're moving into, and then you can do ls again. It shows me the directories in here, so you can do. And another useful thing is hitting tab to autocomplete. So like, I don't feel like typing Arduino stash, so I just hit tab. There it is. And yeah. So, and then if you want to go up a directory, there's the ... is the relative path for going up a directory. So now I'm back in the git folder. You can print your current working directory with pwd, and then so yeah, tells me I'm home, Zach, git. Yeah, the file hierarchy is a little bit different than Windows. So there's the root directory, which is just slash. This is like the very root of your system, and it's got a bunch of stuff in there, but I think you don't really need to know what some of these are. Like if you go into bin, there's like binaries, and then different directories are used for like storing DLL files or something. Like on Windows they do that. And then media and mount, like your like flash drive or something, you can find that in, actually that might be in dev, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so you can clear the terminal with clear, or you can just do what I just did and hit Control L. Actually didn't know that till today, but yeah. So then there's the home directory, which you just do tilde. Now back where I started. And if you want to remove a file or something, that's just rm, remove. So I don't even remember what this file is, but yeah, now it's gone. Let's see. Can you see, Kyle?
Yeah.
You don't have glasses?
I need glasses.
I can zoom in some more if you need to.
No, you can.
All the zoom. Yeah. So I just removed that mpc.c file, and create a file, so with touch is used for creating files if they don't already exist, or updating the timestamp on the file. So like if I touch mpc.h, which already exists, then it doesn't look like it does anything. But you can use ls-l, which is the long flag. It just shows more details. So like now, oh man, so zoomed in. So you're also going to notice that VirtualBox is pretty slow,
Yeah, it is.
regardless of how much RAM you throw at it.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking of that too. So I tried VirtualBox and it was just too slow for me.
Yeah. Anyway, so now if you look at mpc.h, the timestamp on it was like September 13th today at current time. So yeah, now if I touch like new file.txt or something, then it'll create that file. It's like when I was enlisting the files, and I'm so zoomed in, it's not showing all of them sometimes. You can specify like part of it. You can use regular expressions. So if I do new asterisk, that'll show all of the stuff that starts with new. So that's the only thing. Yeah. You can use cat to display the contents of a file. So there's nothing in this one. Actually, I'm not even gonna do it. I'll do it on that mpc.h file. Yeah. So that displays output, the contents of it. You can scroll through, but it's just showing you the output, the contents. You can't edit it with cat. So, what else? Directories. So if you want to make like a new folder, make one called, I don't know, like cool pictures. Then there you go. Use mkdir, make directory. If you want to remove a directory, it's rmdir. The only thing about this is the directory has to be empty. So actually, yeah. If I make a new file, so I'll touch cool pictures. Pic.png or something. Anyway, just put a file in there. Now if I try to remove the whole directory like that, it should give me a message. Yeah, so failed to remove, it's not empty. If you want to like get around that, you can just do, I think it's just rm recursive. Yeah. It's like rm-r, the R stands for recursive, so it like deletes all the files in the directory, like in all the subdirectories, so it just deletes everything. Yeah. So now there's no cool pictures. There is a cool term Linux though. It's like a serial communications thing. Anyway, what else? If you want to edit a file, now this is like I was gonna save this topic for Thursday from detail, but there's a few editors for terminal with Linux. I'm going to mention the ones that come with like almost all Linux distributions, but you shouldn't use these. So one is Nano. So that's Nano. Let's go. Hello world. I'm Nano. So that's Nano. I keep trying to use the Vim shortcut for getting out of this. Actually, don't know how you get out of it. And say I can't see like the bottom. I think it shows it down there, but I can't see it because I'm so zoomed out. Oh no, it's not working. Anyway, I'm just gonna close this. So yeah, you shouldn't use Nano. There's another one that's basically the exact same called gedit. Yeah, have to zoom in again. Yeah, so if you do gedit, that's going to open it up. It's not in the terminal. I think you can do it in the terminal though. Like there's some kind of flag you can pass to it. So hello. This is like Notepad on Windows or wherever it is on Mac. But the two that most people recommend that come with Linux is like, well, VI actually does come with almost every one out there. It's like the older version. So apparently on my distribution, if I try to run Vi, it runs Vim, which is the improved version of Vi. So, but most of the time, like a fresh installation of Linux, if you try to run Vi, it's going to run Vi, not Vim. But yeah, Vim is the better one. It's what I use most of the time for Linux. Like, say, you can do that. Now the keyboard shortcuts for this are, take some time to learn. They're very unintuitive for Windows users, but so is the one I'm about to show you next. Adam knows what it is. I don't even know if I have it installed. Last one is Emacs, which I think NW is the one. You can launch Emacs in a separate window like I did with gedit, but you might as well just keep it in the terminal. Emacs, the commands are also really weird. In my opinion, are stranger than Vim, but Emacs and Vim are the two big ones. If you really just don't want to use those, like use a command line editor, you can always download like Atom, ATOM, for Linux. I don't think I have that installed. Nope. Anyway, yeah, Atom's pretty nice. There's others, but those are just text editors. It doesn't really matter that much. That's pretty much it for like file stuff, moving around files. I think. Let's say, we can go on to like, if you want to. Yeah, so I'll make a file just to mess around with. I'll say. Alright, so I've got that file, and now if I use cat, you can see the outputs of it. Hello from this file. The cool thing about using the terminal is you can chain together a lot of commands, and like I was telling Adam before we started, Connor is like, it does this stuff all the time, like really long chains. But say you want the output of a command to go to something else, then you'll use the pipe, or bitwise or in your programming languages. Pipe, like you pipe output from whatever's on the left to whatever's on the right. So if I just want to, like, I don't know what's something I can pipe that to. I would say I don't. File in quotes. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that, I guess. Yeah, so it takes the output of cat and then pipes it to grep. Grep finds all the instances of file in it. So if I did if I edited that file, it said file is, I don't know, something. If I ran it again, which here's another tip, instead of actually typing it again, you can just use the arrow keys. So hit up a couple times and that goes in the history. Do it. So now it shows both of those lines. So grep is pretty cool. If I wanted to output that to another file, you can do the same thing, but on the end, you'll use the, I forget what this is called, but the greater than sign is going to dump the output to something, and then less than is like input to it. So you can do, I don't know, test results. I can't even type, but like that. And now there's a file. We can cat that file is bad. So yeah, you can chain together stuff pretty easily.
Did you say something about you need tab and it fills out the rest?
Yeah, tab, like never type whole things. Never. Like cat test. And see, like, so there's two instances of tests, like things that start with it. So I think like some shells that you get will just go through, like it'll start with the first one it hits and it'll try that. You can keep hitting tab until you get the one you want, but apparently mine doesn't. So I'll just put in like that and it knows. So that's cat. If there's a command that you aren't really sure how to use, or you want to see what else you can do with it, you can always use man. It looks up the man pages for it. So if I want to look at cat, there's all this stuff. Shows the documentation for it. So number all output lines. We say, oh, that sounds interesting. So you do the command that we did earlier, this one, and this time let's put dash in on it. So that says line 5, that one was found, line 7, that one was found. So that's pretty cool. You can man, like you can find some really interesting stuff actually on commands, even basic ones. Like, see, I don't know how to use grep that well, so we'll get the man pages for it. Alright, files. So yeah, you can use regular expressions. That's what I'm assuming that's what it means by pattern. So that's pretty long, but there was one. It was like C. So if I want to cat the output of that grep file, and then dash C, it should tell me the count 2. So it found 2. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for all of that stuff. And then on Linux, if you want to install stuff, you can use whatever package manager you want, but like most of them, like Linux Mint here, the command is apt-get install, and then the name of your package. So if I want to install, what was the train thing? I don't know. Or what's just something to put? Huh? Calcite? Oh, yeah. So the apt-get install is the command I'm running, but sudo at the beginning, like to install anything you need like administrator or sudo privileges. So you have to put sudo at the beginning. So So it's gonna ask for my password, which I actually remember this time. Yeah. So apparently I already had calc installed. But yeah, normally that's how you do it. So now I can do calc and okay. So let's do anything. All right. I'll just do. Yeah. Yeah. It's more like it. Yeah. So there's yeah, so like if you want to try out Python, that's pretty easy to do on Linux. Sudo apt-get install. Actually, most of them come with Python 2 installed, so you can get Python 3. Should tell me I already have it. Yeah. Boop. And that's the zen of Python. I don't know. There's a better one. Wait. No, I can't do it. Yeah. Anyway, it's giving errors from. Nope, no, it is. All right. What you say? Yeah, so it automatically goes to an XKCD comic about Python and importing anti-gravity. Okay. Anyway, yeah, here it is. It's like one of my favorite XKCDs. If anyone ever asks what Python is like, that's the link you send them. So yeah, you can install stuff pretty easily with apt-get install. What else is there? That's pretty much the basics. You can customize your shell pretty easily. So you go to your home. I'm already in home, but go to your home directory, then view list all. So all these files that start with a dot or period are hidden files. Most of them are configuration files. So see, there's vim.rc. That's like for customizing Vim. And then bash.rc and bash profile are for customizing your shell. So I've got a bunch of aliases, some functions. Yeah, I still have them. These are all the little shortcut functions I use for using Git. I want to see the git log one. Okay, it's not as long as I remembered it being. I think I was like looked up good git log like shortcuts or whatever, and I found some really long ones. But anyway, yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff to customize shell with that, and vim.rc is pretty cool to customize if you decide to use Vim. This is one that Josiah sent me like a year ago, and I just kind of edited, but yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up a bash cheat sheet just to see if I'm forgetting anything. course, you can write like bash scripts to like actual, if else and stuff. Like you can set like environment variables or whatever inside of it too. I had a few functions in the file that I just showed, so but I don't really do a lot of bash scripting myself. You can do a lot of automation with that too. There's a lot of cheat sheets out there though, so I should have just like pretend to be a Windows only club and just go over installing like Cygwin or something. Dir, man, cat, echo. Well, that's kind of useless. Head and tail, I guess those are useful. And less. Yeah, I don't know how I forgot all about less. I mean, less is more. Yeah, you can you can view the contents of a file with less. It's better than cat. Cat just, dumps it to your terminal. This actually displays the file. So, and if it were a longer file, so I can actually duplicate the contents of text to, it's not gonna just I don't think that'll override it. Really no? Alright, so apparently, I don't know, I just want to put it on the end. Anyway, if you have like a really long file, I'll just use that parsing.c or something. But yeah, if you have a long file, you can, scroll through it like that. You can go back up. So less is good, is the best thing for just quickly viewing a file. And then there's head and tail. Those I don't use those that often, but if you just want to see like, I want to see the first 10 lines of whatever file it is, parsing.c, you do that. Just head, the number of lines, and then the file. And then, so that's at the beginning of it. If you want to see from the end of the file, you'll do tail. So that's the tail of it. But I personally find it easier to just use less. And grep, yeah. And then there's sed, which, yeah. Sed and awk. I guess sed is probably used more than awk is. AWK. Yeah, here it is. Piping. I think there's also there's like a bash domain on HackerRank now. I think so. Yeah. Like I think they have like a little contest. It's just like getting started in bash. It's pretty good. I think they go over grep and awk both on it. I don't think they do sed, but I'm not sure. Yeah. That's pretty much it though for the basics. Honestly, that's really all I ever use. Unless you're just like gonna do some hardcore scripting and like just automate everything. You can see how long it's been since I've used this one. That's cool that much from it. those the last two files. That's what I wrote to help do my stats homework. Yeah, it's like some little helper functions, and then it was like back when we were doing just the real basics. So I just like run the first function, which just inputs all the numbers, and then this one just does everything. I just need to do it now for the probability one. Like, I have the file for it, but I haven't actually wrote much in it. Did you see the message I sent on the IRC? Like, I don't know. It was when we were in software engineering. I found a good graph problem for. It was from the Baylor to Baylor PDF. It's called Fire Truck or whatever, but yeah, I have it right there here. This was a solution I was working on in Python, so yeah, ignore that top part. That was old. Actually, no, I didn't. No, this code is pretty much obsolete. I can just delete it. I kind of figured out how to do it on paper, but it's just making making a tree really. Like, I don't know why I said it was a graph problem, but it's like the shortest. Well, it's not the shortest route. It's like outputting all the possible routes from one node to another, and it's pretty easy. I think it's doable. Like, on paper, it was, huh? I mean, I couldn't do them at this point, but I'm meaning to look over Dijkstra's algorithm. So, before the contest at the very least. So, and also just for fun. Like, it's a good algorithm to know. Isn't it, Kyle? Oh, man. I don't know. That's about it. I don't really know if much other basic bash stuff. There's a lot of actually, no, I know what we can do. If you want to check if you have something installed, you can use where is. So if I want to check if I have links installed, there's that. So I don't think I have it then. Otherwise, it'd show a path. Yeah. Any questions, Sam? Let's see. Yeah. Now our website looks so much better. Should start doing all of our. We should do our contest with the links. Yeah, let's do it. Oh wait, hold on. No, I was gonna say I had an always option on there, so just use that. All right, here we go. Something went wrong. No, their IRC, there's a lot of people in it, but they don't say anything. Like yeah, the day, I don't know, it was you or Connor once suggested asking some practice problems on there that'd be good, and I did, and no one responded for like 5 hours. I was like, no. Like people would just connect, say hi, and then immediately disconnect. I don't know.
What about all the people who were already there? They just silent watchers of the night.
Yes. Alright, well, that's enough messing around in that, I guess.
JavaScript is required.
Yeah. So that's Linux. You're all certified now. You can conquer the world with Bash.
You're certified to take the next class.
If they don't like Bash, then bash them with your Jason Bourne Again SHell. Alright, no. That's what I was saying earlier. Anyway.